Deep Magic is probably one of what I consider the core books from Kobold Press. I absolutely love this book. I did a full review on it a while back, but it is one of Kobold Press's best books in my opinion, just filled with great options for your arcane classes, over 700 new spells, and tons of other just great stuff in here. So I was super excited when Kobold Press announced their latest Kickstarter, Deep Magic 2. Today, I want to take a look at what's going on with that Kickstarter. Let's get into it. Hello everybody, I'm Joe, and well, I don't know whether to call myself the DM Toolbox or the GM Toolbox right now, as I'm in the middle of possibly rebranding due to all this fun stuff happening with the OGL. But welcome regardless, this is my channel where you get tools to help enhance your tabletop RPG games. Today, I want to take a look at a Kickstarter from Kobold Press, Deep Magic 2. Now, like I said in my intro, Deep Magic was one of my favorite Kobold Press books. I consider it a core book of theirs. And when Deep Magic 2 was announced, I was very excited because since the release of Deep Magic, there's been a lot of small PDFs and add-ons that have expanded on magic in the Kobold Press world, so to speak. Not just Midgard, but just all the Kobold Press publications. For me, one of the big ones was around ley lines and ley magic, and I'm hoping to see more of that in Deep Magic 2. So they announced this Kickstarter and it looks pretty cool. I want to go through it and take a look at what's going on with it, what are the stretch goals, what we might see in it. But I do want to answer probably a big question on your mind, which is this a 5e book or is this going to be part of maybe Project Black Flag? And they had to ask me anything earlier this week, and they actually answered that question. This is a 5e book and will work with your 5e content. However, it will also be forward compatible with Project Black Flag. So it sounds like Project Black Flag might be a 5e adjacent system that will allow us to continue to use all of our 5e Kobold Press books and other 5e books from any publisher, and those publishers can hopefully continue to produce similar products moving forward. So if you're not wanting to play D&D anymore and you're still wanting to use your 5e books, Project Black Flag might be the answer for you. That all said, let's take a look at what we're going to get in Deep Magic 2. All right, the first thing I want to look at is a little statement at the top of the Kickstarter page, which reads, Deep Magic Volume 2 is the next installment in Kobold Press's popular series, presenting potent new options for game masters and players with a penchant for enchantment, and fully compatible with the evolution of the world's first tabletop RPG. So I think that's another statement that is somewhat telling of what we might see with Project Black Flag. Okay, so what's actually in Deep Magic 2? Well, it's an expansion to Deep Magic 1, so we're going to see a lot of the similar stuff that we saw there. Some of the examples they give is new mechanics like True Name Magic, the ability to create arcane adversaries, and expand your repertoire with hundreds of new spells for every casting class. Now, don't forget that Deep Magic 1 had over 700 spells, so we might see something very similar to that in Deep Magic 2. They also have new subclasses like Oath of the Spellsworn and an entirely new base class, the Witch. That one I'm excited about. I've always wanted to see a Witch class in 5e, and I actually homebrewed one several years ago for my daughter, and we had a lot of fun with it, but it definitely needed some work. So I can't wait to see what the Kobolds come out on that one. Another thing they're going to be doing is something they do pretty often in their Kickstarters. They're going to allow backers to create content for it. So with Tome of Beast series and Creature Codex, backers were able to submit monsters, and some of those made it into the book. They're going to be doing the same thing with spells on this one, where they're going to have 20 spells from backers that will be in this book, and more with stretch goals. So as we hit more stretch goals, more backer-made spells will make the cut and get into the book. So very, very excited about that. Looking forward to submitting my spells. Now, if you head over to the Kickstarter page, which I have a link for in the description of this video, you'll see they have a free download to what they're calling the Pyromancy style of magic, which a magical grimoire and 17 new Deep Magic spells. Or Deep Magic 2 spells is what I should say. So I found the whole style of magic thing pretty interesting because from what it sounds like, it's more of like a theme that you can slap onto any caster, whether it be a wizard or a sorcerer or a bard. They basically kind of give you some descriptions and things that you would use and do, all fire-based spells, things like that. So it kind of reminds me of back in AD&D second edition. You may have seen those kind of like maroonish or brownish covered books for like, rogues and wizards and, warriors and stuff like that, that were kind of meant to help you build out a certain style of that class. And that's kind of what this feels like to me, is as opposed to this is a wizard's, arcane sub school or whatever, like, their subclass. This is more of like, I'm an evocation wizard, but I'm also a pyromancy evocation wizard. It's kind of like just giving you more specific flavor that you can put onto your character. Very interesting, definitely worth a read, but I kind of like that whole idea. Now, another thing you're going to notice on the page is that they seem to be doing something with Deep Magic Volume 1, which is the book that I have here. And, looking at that, it sounds like they're going to make a few minor changes, a few, like things where maybe there's spelling errors or a little mechanical error somewhere that they're going to fix. Nothing major, but it does sound like they're actually going to add a whole new class in there as well, which is called the Thurage. So that will be a whole nother class available in Deep Magic 1. Now, they're not doing this just to sell you an extra copy of Deep Magic 1. In fact, they're probably going to be offering that extra material as just a standalone PDF for those who already own Deep Magic 1, so they don't have to buy a whole nother book that they already own. However, they do have some really cool options for 2-volume sets that you can get with a slipcase for both the regular version and the limited edition versions, which we'll get into a little bit later. But they do seem pretty cool, and there's also some new cover art, which I kind of like. Another thing you might see in Deep Magic Volume 1 is they're also going to have, I think it's going to be a whole new subclass for wizards called the Frost Mage School, and 22 frost-based spells. So there is some other new stuff in there. But again, my understanding is that you're going to be able to get all this stuff as a standalone PDF. So you do not have to buy a second copy of Deep Magic Volume 1 if you don't want. However, the Frost Mage and those spells is available as a free PDF download right now on the Kickstarter page. Okay, let's take a look at what we can back and what we're actually going to get when we back on the Kickstarter. Okay, the first option they show here is Deep Magic Volume 2, the hardcover and the PDF, and it looks like it would also come with Roll20. Then they also have the 2-volume set with the slipcase, also with PDFs and Roll20. Then they get into the limited edition, which you can get just Volume 2 and its PDF, or you can get the 2 sets with the slipcover that comes with the PDFs, and it comes with Roll20. And then if you wanted, they also have the leather-bound editions for quite a bit higher price tag, but it does come with the PDFs and your VTT of choice. Now, if Roll20 is not your VTT of choice and you want to get Foundry or Shard or something like that, my guess is you back at the level you want, and then you can add that on during backer kit. As far as digital only rewards, they obviously have all those. You can pick whichever VTT you want, and it will come with the PDF. Another cool thing that they have that's exclusive to the Kickstarter is this pin. It's a limited edition pin that you get whenever you back anything in this Kickstarter that is a print reward. So any physical book reward will include the pin. The slipcase is also exclusive to the Kickstarter, so you have to get either the regular or the limited edition 2-volume set to get the slipcase. They're not going to be selling those separately afterwards. And of course, as any good Kickstarter has, they do have a bunch of stretch goals, many of which have already been unlocked. As a recording of this video, they've already broken 300,000 and well on their way to the next stretch goal. I would be surprised if they don't hit their 400,000 stretch goal mark. And with that, one of the cool things that I saw in there was they're going to do these printed arcane chamber map tiles for any backers that backed at the 125 or up levels. So that'll be kind of cool, because there is a lot of neat stuff in Volume 2, including those arcane chambers, things like necromancer laboratories or a arcane dueling ring and things like that that sound pretty cool. So I'm very excited to see what else they have in here. I'm hoping that they're going to be doing playtesting. I'm signed up to do Kobold Press playtest, so I'm definitely hoping to get my hands on some playtest material. And of course, like I said earlier, to write my own spell and submit it. And I do want to just hop back here and just give you a really good look at these limited edition covers because they are absolutely gorgeous. I love these things. This is what I backed, was to get the 2-volume limited edition because, man, I absolutely love the limited edition stuff. And these are probably some of the best looking ones I've seen out of everything they've put out so far. If you want some more information on this Kickstarter, obviously check out the link in the description and go to the Kickstarter itself. But I'll also put links to both the Kobold Press's official Discord and the Midgard Adventures Discord channels, where you can find a wealth of community talking about these products and about all things Kobold Press. So make sure you head over there and check those out as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you planning on backing Deep Magic 2, it being both a 5e and a Black Flag compatible product? Does sound pretty interesting to me. So this might be our first kind of view into what Black Flag material might look like. I do notice in some of the downloaded text that they have on here, just them using words like GM instead of DM and things like that. So it sounds like they already have some plans in there for this work independent of OGL. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you planning on backing this? And what do you think? That's it for today. And until next time, roll those dice.